A little while ago, I made a video talking about the dangers of de-anonymization. The video touched on the fact that so-called anonymized data can actually be reversed. Using seemingly benign data points, people's identities can be recovered from anonymized data. There were a lot of comments on that video, and many of them missed the point entirely. Data collection is egregious, but I still think that the best thing anyone can do is be mindful of what they type into the internet. An anonymized blockchain type thing could be used, maybe. Also, stop using any service that tracks and collects data unless they pay you for the collection. Google owes us a lot of money. The Amish don't have this problem. Don't they though? I mean, sure, they don't have spy bricks in their pocket, listening to everything they say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if they ever leave their community, which they're known to do, and they go out into, a public space, maybe a Walmart, for example, or head to a town center, they're likely being surveilled. Not just by CCTV in the places that they visit or the security systems of the businesses they patronize, but also by the spy bricks in everyone else's pocket, constantly listening, analyzing, and reporting. And it would be impractical to ask everyone to give up their smartphones. Very few people would end up doing that. And I think it's beyond hope to educate people that they need to buy phones that can be flashed with a secure ROM, let alone having them do the flashing themselves. And it's not just phones. I mean, pretty much every single online service is collecting sensitive information about you, information that is exploited by the economic forces we spoke of in the last video. Most people are not wired to care about such things and simply cannot be taught to worry. It's too abstract a threat currently. And even if you can get everyday people to recognize what's going on, most people don't see it as undesirable. Oh, I like having Amazon track everything I do and analyze my purchase history so that they can deliver customized ads based on my preferences. I've heard that so many times. Now, there are people in my audience who I know are going to say something along the lines of, well, if people can't be bothered to protect their privacy, then they don't deserve any privacy at all. And that might feel good, that might rub out your massive God-sized nerd ego and let you feel like you're better than the plebs, but it entirely misses the bigger picture. I operate on the hypothesis that privacy is the first and most important prerequisite to liberty. If you don't have privacy, you don't have the smallest measure of freedom. Furthermore, privacy is determined by the lowest common denominator. If most of the people around you are leading secure and private lives, they only use products and services that don't spy on you, they're only using free software, and they don't patronize businesses or live in cities that employ ubiquitous surveillance, then maybe you're secure. But if you associate with even one normal person, and I'm not using that term in any derogatory sense, then all your efforts to secure your privacy are for nothing. If you have a conversation with someone and they have a Facebook app installed on their phone, then you can rest assured that your conversation was recorded in some manner. Privacy is like herd immunity. If most people are leading private lives, you're protected, even if you're not being overtly cautious. But if everyone's privacy is violated every single day in egregious and invasive ways, then the measures you have to take to inoculate yourself from prying eyes become exponentially more difficult. There's a reason privacy was declared a human right enshrined in the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution and Article 12 of the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's a necessity. It's not a luxury. No matter if you have something to hide or not, without privacy, everyone becomes suspect. Crimes can be solved using lazy investigations, searching databases, recalling surveillance footage, and asking an AI for help. And only those wealthy and informed enough to be proactive about protecting their privacy are exempt. The tragedy of all of this is that the most smug, self-assured comments left on my previous video give me the impression that those folks think that they're leading private lives, but they're not. There is no privacy any longer. If you want to secure your identity and control your data, you simply can't be on the internet right now. You need to cover your face and change how you walk when you're on surveillance cameras. You need to go without having a fixed phone number, disguise your voice when you're using a burner phone. Never associate with anyone who uses an Android phone. Prevent photos of you from being uploaded to the cloud or analyzed by an AI. Companies like Facebook and Google and Amazon, they are committing egregious human rights violations every moment of every day and monetizing each second of it. It should not be allowed to stand, because without privacy there can be no freedom, and the lines between individuals start to blur. But Facebook and Google and Amazon aren't the only ones making a fortune off the erosion of your individual autonomy. Other tech companies, unscrupulous advertisers, spy agencies, and shadowy private interests are all involved. The truth is that we do need to take proactive, collective steps to de-incentivize violations of our privacy. We need to elect people who understand what's actually at stake and help them pass legislation against advertising and other forms of privacy invasion. We need to regulate against unnecessary data collection and put hard limits on the analysis that equates to nothing less than human experimentation. We need to be in control of how AI is being used against our data, how data sets are anonymized, and we need to utterly destroy any company or agency that violates these laws, because what's at stake is more important than profit. Now, it's one thing if you disagree with me about how important privacy is. There were some comments who just fundamentally disagreed about that fact, and that's fine. You can believe that even if you're wrong. Most people don't care. I don't think can understand the full scope of it if they're not in this industry already. And so it's unfair for you to sit idly and smugly by and say that only those who know how deserve to have privacy, because that is just wrong. I'd like to know what you think. Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you believe in the work that I'm doing here and you want to help support the show, you can become a Patreon supporter, or you can become a YouTube member. There are links in the description. I want to say thank you to my patrons and to my YouTube members, without whom I would not be able to do this. So thanks, guys. You mean the world to me. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.